Well, now that we've gone through the drivers and the benefits, I'm going to give it back to Nick here to give us a bit of a summary of what we just spoke about.
All right, thanks again, Tom. So we've run through drivers and we've run through benefits. Some of the big drivers that we talked about, we went through stakeholder priorities. We looked at how public expectations of businesses to perform in a socially responsible way have really been growing recently. But we also looked at how specifically the investment community and how consumers are starting to make investment decisions and consumption decisions, respectively, based on social and environmental criteria. And similarly, how people that work within and work for companies, owners of companies, managers, and employees of companies, are also starting to I'd say demand a certain level of social performance as well, simply because they want to be associated with companies that do that. We looked at similarly how ethical consumption, ethical buying is not just important to consumers, but also to businesses that are making purchases too. So we're seeing supply chain demands for corporate social responsibility, and many of these things are leading to, as Tom just went through in good depth, a competitive advantage that's being generated for companies that are socially and environmentally responsible. They're simply doing better. We looked at how technology is driving forward corporate social responsibility. Of course, many different technologies in many different industries that are doing so, but we talked a bit about sustainable energy, video conferencing, some examples there, specifically internet and social media too, and the really mobile access to information that people have, which is helping them to make these decisions, consumption decisions, investment decisions, based on social and environmental criteria. Technology is really helping them to do so, is really facilitating that process. We talked a bit about the environment, specifically climate change and resource depletion. Of course, many different environmental issues, but those are two of the biggest that are pushing forward CSR. Globalization too is really pushing it forward, simply because the demands to help address some of the negative consequences, the negative income inequality consequences of globalization, but also because of the competition that globalization has generated, that businesses need to be able to better differentiate themselves. We looked at government and non-governmental organizations, how government regulation is driving forward social and environmental performance, and particularly how reporting regulations will pressure companies to engage in CSR initiatives and CSR programs, strategies. But we also talked about how kind of a perceived failure of government to address some of these issues is directing the pressure away from governments and onto corporations to be the primary actor that's responsible for solving these problems, and so of course that's increasing the pressure for CSR performance too. With regard to non-governmental organizations, we talked about how there's a couple different ways that NGOs are pushing CSR, either through direct pressure or through the partnership opportunities that exist now for corporations to partner with NGOs in order to achieve social and environmental progress, and the benefits that these achieve for both the companies and the NGOs involved. And we also talked a bit about standardization and how guidelines and frameworks are not only making it easier for people for companies to get involved in CSR, but are also creating a pressure, because it's creating a expectation that companies will start to take these standards seriously and get involved in them. We went on to Tom to talk about some of the business benefits and moral benefits of CSR. Several benefits related to customers and to brand, enhancing customer loyalty, and helping to to keep the customers that you have and make the customers that you have more valuable, but also get new customers by accessing new markets, by tapping into the new consumer base that is searching for socially and environmentally responsible products, and he's using that as a major criteria in their purchases. And then more generally, how a stronger brand, a stronger reputation and corporate image will help your business, and how CSR can provide that. And then I think three more major business benefits with regard to how your business runs. So helping your company get better talent through recruitment, motivation, retention. These things come from social and environmental performance. But also driving creativity and innovation. So helping the people that you have within your company already to come up with smarter ideas for driving your company forward. And also efficiency gains. So some effectiveness gains there, but also some efficiency gains there, and some cost savings that can be achieved through CSR performance. And then two kind of strategic business benefits: a greater level of risk management, mitigating major issues and crises that could occur to your company and could cause significant economic and other impacts. And then also on the other side, those are kind of the threats. On the other side, the opportunities, major, particularly partnership opportunities that your business could achieve through corporate social responsibility. And then I think it's very important. Tom did a good job of looking at the moral benefits. I think these are really important not to ignore. For a long time, focus has been on the business benefits of corporate social responsibility, and they're certainly great. They are certainly significant. But the moral benefits, especially in smaller companies, are oftentimes really the driving force for CSR, because the individuals within many people really have strong feelings about making the world a better place. Especially successful people, I find, really want to get involved in social issues. Many of them already do get involved in social issues on their own time. But when they realize the amazing things that can happen at a corporate level, it's really, I think, personally satisfying to be a part of that, to be a part of making that happen, because it's so much bigger than what you could achieve as just one person on your own time to see it happen at a corporate level. So I'm going to pass it back to Tom now, who's just going to wrap things up with a bit of a call to action.
Thanks, Nick. So we've just taken some time to identify and discuss these key drivers and benefits of social responsibility. But we didn't have time to cover every element of every driver and every benefit, but we do have some articles on our blog that cover these topics a bit more thoroughly. So if you were interested in checking that out, the link is www.provictus.ca/blog, and we will have that link up in a minute. One thing you may have realized is that there aren't just a few of these benefits and a few drivers, but there really are a lot, and a lot of them are very significant. Hopefully they've made you realize why corporate social responsibility is becoming an important part of successful and innovative business today, and that CSR really is something that organizations can no longer afford to ignore. If you're interested in introducing CSR to an organization that you're involved in, it'll be important to point towards some of these drivers and benefits when making your case. We also recommend seeking support from other employees before beginning the discussion, and managers that you think might be interested, as organizations are more inclined to adopt responsible business practices when they see strong levels of internal support. Just another pointer is that you should try to start small, focus on small improvements. Just a tiny example, start using recycled paper or FSC certified paper, and then that'll at least get some momentum building once you see the impacts of that. And of course, we're always happy to provide guidance and resources to anyone who is interested in corporate social responsibility, and we do whatever we can to support and advise individuals who are trying to bring it to their workplace. So we'll be opening things up to questions now. Again, if you do have a question, just click on Provictus.